Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Lead or Led By. And today we are here to know what are the communication barriers and how we can overcome these barriers. Before we start the session, let us see that what was today's challenge and what was asked to these students who are the participant of this leadership challenge, 30 days leadership challenge. So what they were asked to do. Please have a look. Welcome to 1 month leadership challenge. Today we are going to speak about communication barriers. Have you ever experienced that at your workplace or in the college or schools, you wanted to say something else while it was understood something else? With me, it had happened many a times, believe me. And sometimes I feel that, oh my God, what did I say that the people feel so bad or the particular person was unhappy? I never meant to make him unhappy. It happens because of the communication barriers. There are different types of barriers in communication. Sometimes it is like physical communication barriers, such as like we are at different places, we are working remotely, our nature of work is that such that we hardly meet with each other. So in this way, there is a possibility of communication barrier. Now, secondly, it is like in sometimes emotional communication barriers are there. Like when we have fear, when we have mistrust, then our communication is not effective at all. And then the most importantly, language communication barriers are always there because if we don't know how to communicate as per the understanding of the people, then if we are unaware of the non-verbal communications and verbal communications, then this type of hindrance quite often happens at the workplace, even in the personal life as well. So it's important for us to understand the people around us. So there are different types of people around us with whom we are dealing, with whom we are communicating. So the people who are born like before 1945, they are the traditionalist people and their communication will be entirely different. While the baby boomers are those who are born between 1946 and 1964, so their communication will be entirely different. And then Generation X, born between 1965 and 1976, and then millennials, those who are born between 1977 and 1995. And then we have Generation Z, born in 1996 and after. So we have to understand their mindset, their psychology, their understanding, their communication level, their lifestyle, and then we can communicate effectively. Now, coming to today's challenge, you have to read this article. This is very informative article about the communication barriers and how to tackle them. And after reading this article, please develop your understanding of the communication barriers and prepare your thoughts, and you have to express in 2 minutes when we are going to meet today at 8 o'clock. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much. So, Alka ma'am, this was the challenge that they are supposed to read that article and they have to develop their own understanding of communication barrier and they have to speak here for 2 minutes. Although there is no language bar, if somebody wants to speak in Hindi, they are free to do so. And if somebody wants to speak in English, that is preferable. That will be appreciable. So Asya, may I request you first to share your experience, share your views?
Sure, ma'am. Good verbal communication and interpersonal skills are essential for communicating with others, communicating to your supervisor, and speaking with customers or client. This means speaking clearly, consciously, and loudly while building a good rapport with your audience. 1 minute, ma'am. It has a significant impact on people like life, either in personal or professional. Developing a strong communication play a key role in your successful career. It is a set of activities that ultimately make a quality public performance. Successful communication skills help us in
Speak
understanding people
loudly.
and
I
situation.
will.
By acquiring strong communication skills, you can better connect with people, your friends, colleagues, boss. Having communication skill is important as it helps us to understand the feeling behind the situation. Successful communication can deepen relationship in personal life or professional life. For this reason, communication skills are the most demanded soft skill that employees are looking for in their employees. Lastly, like us, Generation Z are used to having personalized newsfeed. We like to communicate more on social media. Others often like to share their life stories, lifestyle on social media, and our generation are more of a night person. Not all of them, but most of them. They give more values to social image, not to ethics and culture. And these are one of the most important barrier between generation communication. Thank you.
Very well spoken, Asia. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, now next, who is there in the queue to share? Please raise up your hand or write your name in the chat box. अब किसको शेयर करना है अपना नाम चैट बॉक्स में लिख दें या हैंड रेस कर दें इसमें रिएक्शंस में जाके सो दैट आपको चांस मिलेगा बोलने का। आतिफ, क्या आप तैयार हैं? आतिफ खान।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम।
वालेकुम सलाम, क्या आप तैयार हैं?
जी मैम।
ठीक है, तो बोलिए, बताइए क्या है आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग कम्युनिकेशन बैरियर्स की?
हिंदी में बोले मैम।
हाँ, हिंदी में।
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, बोलिए।
कम्युनिकेशन बैरियर्स का मतलब मेरे हिसाब से मतलब पहले मतलब ये मतलब किसी बात को मतलब अपने मतलब बात को ध्यान से सुनो और किसी से मतलब बात कर रहे हैं तो पॉइंट टू पॉइंट बात करो और कहीं भी मतलब किसी से बात कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ पे राइट वर्ड का यूज कर रहे हैं और किसी से बात कर रहे हो तो आई कांटेक्ट से बात करो, कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा और हमेशा मतलब कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलो।
ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा।
जी मैम,
बहुत अच्छे, बहुत बढ़िया।
बहुत अच्छा, ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच आतिफ, बहुत अच्छा आपने बताया, बहुत अच्छे से बताया आपने, वेरी गुड। ओके, नाउ हु एल्स इज देयर इन द क्यू? तस्कीन रजा। तस्कीन रजा। फहद खान। आप लोग खुद को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं, अनम्यूट करके आप बोलिए, बोलना है आपको तो।
मैम हेलो।
हेलो, यस।
बोल रहे मैम किसी से हम आई कांटेक्ट करके बात करना चाहते हैं तो मतलब क्यों नहीं हो पाता?
आप अपना वीडियो भी तो ऑन करो।
हाँ, वो तो कॉन्फिडेंस की कमी होती है ना, तभी इंसान किसी से आई कांटेक्ट करके बात नहीं करता है। उसको ये लगता है पता नहीं सामने वाला मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा, मैं कैसा बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे पॉइंट्स कैसे हैं, मैं कैसा दिख रहा हूँ। ये भी बहुत होता है कि इमेज कॉन्शियसनेस होती है कि मैं कैसा दिख रहा हूँ, मैं कैसा लग रहा हूँ। तो ये सब चीजें प्रैक्टिस से आती हैं, और प्रैक्टिस जब होगी, अब देखिए 1 महीने का आप लोगों को मौका मिला प्रैक्टिस का। इस 1 महीने में आप लोग को जितना अपने आप को रगड़ना आप रगड़िए, जितना आपको अपने आप को तैयार करना है तैयार कीजिए। लेकिन आप लोग तो वीडियो ही नहीं ऑन करते हैं, तो फिर कैसे ये हेसिटेशन खत्म होगी? पहले आप एक दूसरे की सबकी आंखों में देख के बात करेंगे तभी तो खत्म होगी ना हेसिटेशन।
जी मैम, बिल्कुल।
जी ठीक
नेक्स्ट क्लास में इंशाल्लाह वीडियो ऑन रहेगा।
बिल्कुल होना ही चाहिए, क्योंकि जब वीडियो ऑन होता है ना तो उसमें आपकी परफॉर्मेंस बिल्कुल अलग लेवल की होती है, और जो वीडियो ऑफ करके होती है बिल्कुल अलग लेवल की होती है। देखो आतिफ ने वीडियो ऑन कर दिया, वेरी गुड,
Very
वंडरफुल।
nice. Very nice.
So now I think if there are no other participants speaking, then I request Alka ma'am to kindly throw some light on the communication barriers and
Yeah.
why it happens and how it happens and how we can stop this.
Bilkul. You want to share the screen like this only, or you want to remove the screen?
I will remove.
Okay. So what I would say is, मैं आपको सबको एक सवाल पूछती हूँ कि smiling is a way of some communication. आप लिफ्ट में जा रहे हैं, आप कहीं पैदल चल रहे हैं, आप कहीं वॉक के लिए जा रहे हैं, wherever you are going, if you see a person in front of you, even if you don't know that person, do you think you can smile at that person? Can you say yes or no? Just say yes.
Yes.
हाथ ऊपर करो. कर सकते कि नहीं कर सकते? Smile कर सकते?
क्या मैम? Yes मैम.
किसी को देख
Yes,
के
ma'am.
मुस्कुरा सकते कि नहीं? Can you smile at another person?
Yes, ma'am.
कोई रोक है
Yes
क्या?
मैम, sure.
किसी ने मना किया है क्या?
No, ma'am.
No मैम.
Exactly. So communication is a way that we can express ourselves to the opposite person, whether we know him or we don't know him. Smiling and laughter. These are the two methods which we can communicate effectively with another person. हमारा कम्युनिकेशन का रीजन क्या होता है? Why do we communicate? कि हम उनकी बात समझना चाहते हैं. We want to understand what they are saying. And second is we want them to understand what we are saying. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes मैम. Yes मैम.
To and fro communication उसको बोलते हैं. Now, when we want to understand the opposite person is sharing something with us. It could be our leader, it could be our boss, it could be our junior, it could be our child, our parent, it could be our partner, it could be our friend, it could be anybody. That person is trying to say something to me. So what should I do? I should look here, I should look there. जैसे आतिफ ने बताया आई कॉन्टैक्ट, तो उसकी आंखों में आंखें डाल के उसकी सुनना है वो क्या कह रहा है. आपने कभी बच्चे को देखा है, छोटे बच्चे को, 1 साल से कम के बच्चे को अगर आप देखेंगे ना, उसके 2 मेथड्स होते हैं कम्युनिकेशन के. एक तो वो हंसता रहता है, पूरा टाइम हंसता रहता है, उसको पता भी नहीं कि क्या वजह है, ही डज. और दूसरा होता है कि वो आंखों से बात करता है. He can't talk, ना 8-9-year-old baby can't talk, तो आंखों से आंखें मिलाता है वो. The 2 very effective methods of communication. When we are trying to understand the opposite person, what do we need to do? The first and the foremost thing is active listening. What is the meaning of active listening? आप उसकी बात सुन रहे हैं, not from your ears, but from your heart. You're listening to the person from the heart, what he's saying, what he's not saying also. Sometimes he's saying something, but in between the lines, he's hiding something also. So when you look at his facial expression, when you look at his eyes, when you look at his face, when you look at his full body language, you can understand कि ये बंदा दुखी है, ये बंदा हंस रहा है, ये बंदा के अंदर कुछ तकलीफ है, इसको क्या तकलीफ है. So when you listen from your heart, no, you understand what the other person is saying. Do you think you should be interrupting this person when you're listening? No. Interruptions is a very bad way of communicating. So listening with the heart gives him an opportunity to express himself. तो पूरी बात अपना कह दे, उसके बाद में क्या करना चाहिए? अगर आपको वाकई बात समझनी है तो उसके बाद में हमें रिपीट करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे ब्रेन में we have mirror neurons. What is mirror neurons? Whatever that person is saying, I am visualizing in my brain. I am feeling in my brain. When the opposite person is saying, you are very nice, or that person did this, that person did that, he was very nice, and he's praising somebody, the same feeling is coming within me. If the opposite person is saying something bad about someone, if the opposite person is saying something about some violent activity, the same thing is happening in my brain. Remember, friends, whatever we do, say here in front of another person, the same thing is happening in our own minds and in our brains. So when the other person is saying something, if we can listen with our heart, that will be the most beautiful gift that you're giving to that person, active listening without interrupting. We don't have to give a reply also. When we are listening with our heart, we just listen. जरूरी थोड़ी है कि उसको कोई solution देना है. He's not asking for a solution. Communication is listening. When we listen We can take our own time, we can process in our mind, and then we can give reply, whatever we want to give reply. Just repeating the whole sentence. Acha, so you mean to say that you are suffering because of this problem? Okay, I see. So you have to acknowledge what the other person is saying. When you acknowledge what the other person is saying, the other person feels heard. The other person feels acknowledged, and he understands that you're understanding and you're trying to understand what he's saying. So when we repeat the sentence when the opposite person is telling, it becomes a kind of a better understanding. What else can be done to communicate better? The barrier, the biggest barrier today is we're not meeting physically. We are connecting with the whole world. But in our own house, if my grandmother is sitting here, if my father is sitting here, I'm not communicating with them, I'm communicating with the phone. So I was talking to my cousin the other day, and I told her that you're not listening only what we're talking over here. So she said, but you all are talking all boring stuff. You all want to talk all boring stuff. I'm talking to my friend who is sitting in San Francisco. I'm communicating with her. I sent her a message and she already sent me back my message. So this is a new generation. They are not ready to communicate with the people in their own house, but they want to communicate with somebody else. So the point is, when we start communicating with the members of our house, we understand what they want, what they're talking about. Agar बैठेंगे तभी तो पता लगेगा ना बच्चों को family के साथ में. So I'll tell you one joke. There was this boy, his internet had got spoiled in his room. So he came to the hall and he was sitting with everybody. He was a young boy. So what he told his friend, अरे यार, internet खराब हो गया. ये लोग बड़े अच्छे लोग हैं यार. So when he came to the hall, when he started communicating with his family members, he realized that they're really nice people. That's the point. The people are good in your house, in your family, but we have to listen to them, we have to talk to them, we have to communicate with them. You can tell your problems to your family members. You have to share not only your problem, just sharing the whole day's activities with your family members is one of the ways of communicating. See how when you go to college or school, you start talking about with your friends. No, I did this, I did that, I went on social media, I did Instagram, I did this, I did that. Similarly, when you come home, just start telling your activities in your school and college to your family members. They will also know what kind of life you're leading, and that becomes the best form of communication. And I'll tell you one thing, you can become best friends with your family members if you really trust them. Trust kab aata hai? When there's a trust come, it is our problem also. We also have to trust our children. As elders, we have to trust our children. And come in communication and in empathizing with the person, the trust is a very, very important factor. Between a leader and a student, between a leader and all the people in the team, if the trust is not there, it will act like a barrier. Can we share our feelings to a leader who is not trustworthy? No, we cannot. So how is trust created? The leader creates trust in his people who are working under him, in his team. How does he create trust? By talking to the team members. What are you going through? Where are you in your life? It's not just the work what you're talking about, right? We want to know something else, what is happening in your personal life. So if the personal life is not very good, then they're not going to be happy in their office life also, in their college life, in their teacher's life. So they will be thinking. So a leader can do one very beautiful thing is communicate with the team members and talk to them about other things other than work. And, making people, what is empathy is that feeling the pain of the other person. So empathizing with the person, understanding what they're going through in their life and helping them with what they're going through in life, that helps us to establish trust. So when we have mistrust, when we don't trust the opposite person, we don't communicate. We don't tell our hearts things. So the best thing is to create trust for leaders, as we are elders, as teachers, we can create trust. And you people have to create trust in your friends. You know how you can do that? By sharing your own innermost problems with your friends. Supposing I tell you, as a child, I was very naughty. I got a lot of beating from my mummy and papa. So it's okay to be naughty. Nothing wrong with that. So when I tell you my deepest problems, my deepest secrets, and I share it with you, and I tell you, I'm just like you. You and I are just same. We have the same kind of problems in our life. My mummy used to shout at me. My papa used to shout at me. Don't see too much of TV. Don't do this. Don't do that. So all these are common problems we all have in our childhood and in our college days. So when I share these things with you, I create like a trust with you. And when I create a trust with you, you also create a trust in me. And something, trust is a muscle. So it's a muscle. The more you trust people, the more people are going to trust you. So telling your deepest secrets, not worrying about being judged. Don't worry about being judged. If we start worrying about that we are going to be judged, then we cannot share our feelings. So the other barrier which comes in talking to people and communicating with people is a fear of how I'm looking. So how does it matter how we are looking? We are looking good. So when you build up your self-esteem, when you build up your self-worth, I'm good, I'm front, I'm smart, I'm very confident, I'm capable. All this morning affirmations, what ma'am is doing, just build up your confidence, just build up that you believe in yourself and you have trust in yourself, you trust yourself and you get that confidence, then nothing can stop you from going and talking to anybody. So on the Zoom, friends, the first step to give a good communication is put on your videos, look into the eyes of the people, try to talk to the people by looking into the eyes, show something like that, some nodding. And if you do like this, that means you're not agreeing. When you agree, the opposite person feels much, much better. And if you don't agree, also you should be able to express your opinion. These are some of the things which I can share with you. And social skills are when you're going out, how you should talk to people. See, you already know these things. It's just a way of verbalizing it. How we talk to children, we talk in their language. We kneel down. Supposing a child is making a lot of noise and a lot of tantrums, what we should do, we should just kneel down, go at the level of the child and explain to the child, you're not going to get this thing right now. This is not the time for ice cream. This is the time for eating lunch. And we will give you the ice cream after half an hour, after you have had your lunch. And communication becomes easier when we talk in that level. Some parents are what they will do, they will scream at the child. I'll tell you, one boy was there in my class. And just like in the college, all the boys are doing some masti. So this boy had smoked a cigarette in his college. And he went home and he told his father that today we just smoked a cigarette and we came. And his father slapped him. And that was the end of everything. He ran away from the house and he felt so hurt and he was so injured. And friends, these scars which are formed inside the hearts of the children are not going to be healed. So we as teachers, we as leaders, we as influencers, we have to understand that we can influence the people and listen to them and give them the space to express themselves. So go ahead, express yourselves, Asya and Atif and all of you, Fahid and Abdul, and you are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So you have to understand the people in your team and how you can lead them with love, with affection in your heart, with gratitude in your heart, and with lot of abundance in your heart. Give them inclusivity, the people in your life, your team members, empathize with them, understand them, and then communicate. When you become that person of high self-esteem, high self-development, nothing can stop you from communicating to the people. Thank you very much.
Wonderful speech, Alka ma'am, wonderful thoughts. And I hope that they all liked it very much. I can see the facial expression of Atif. So my dear friends, if I tell you that there was a time when Alka ma'am was not able to speak English and she used to take the tutorials from her neighbor. One day we met her neighbor also.
Yes.
The neighbor disclosed us that yes, this was the fact.
Yes.
Now imagine how now Alka ma'am has become a public speaker.
Yes.
Now she addresses the thousands of people without any barrier, without any fear. It's all because of practice, practice and practice. Today, I was expecting that I have already given you the article. You have to just read it and take out a few lines from there. And then those lines you speak. Those lines you can read from the paper. That is the first step of practicing. Then tomorrow I will give you to write something and then speak. Then day after tomorrow, think something and then speak. So these are the steps. But if at the first step you are not able to take the step, then how I can do? You see, you want to learn swimming, but you are not entering into water at all. So at the beach, I can give you long lectures, but you cannot learn swimming at all unless you enter in the water. So please enter in the water.
Absolutely true, ma'am. And yes, friends, I want to tell you that you are very, very lucky to be in the midst of Halima ma'am. I have not seen any leader like her, and how much pains she takes every morning, the amount of hard work she does to put in the material in your group. If you're not utilizing that material, it will be a great loss to you, friends. Really, I'm telling you. We never had anyone like this to teach us in our times. Frankly speaking, I'm telling you. I'm really jealous. I always tell this to all the kids, you know. I feel very, very envious of you guys. So Asiya, Atif, you all are doing, but other people, you know, take advantage of this opportunity. It's a golden opportunity. Read what she's putting up, the challenges, and just reading. Today, you to just read it. That's all. So please do it, and that will help you to become a more higher in self-development. Your self-worth, your self-esteem will improve, your communication skills will improve, and you will be the greatest leader in the world. Thank you.
Inshallah. Yes, now Atif, इसी बात पे आप 4 सेंटेंस बोलिए इंग्लिश में. Okay, come on. Speak anything, whatever comes to your mind. There is no topic. There is nothing. Okay, Atif, come on. Thank Alka ma'am.
थैंक यू मैम, आप इतना अच्छे से हमको समझाए तो पूरा क्लियर समझ में आ गया.
Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am. Your speech was wonderful. Whatever you have said, I understood. Now I am
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to practice it. And I told you the best way is that you can write down 4 or 5 lines. Okay, because you are into the medical field. And I'm 100% sure that you all have the writing skills. You all can write few lines. Write down few lines and read from the paper. This is the first step. Abdullah, okay, come on, boy, speak up. Abdullah. Fahad Khan.
शर्मा रहे क्या ये लोग? शर्मा रहे क्या?
नहीं, एक्चुअली वही है कि उनका हिंदी इंग्लिश का प्रॉब्लम है. मैं तो कहती हूँ
हिंदी में बोलो, कोई बात नहीं, हिंदी में बोलो, नो प्रॉब्लम.
फहद, अब्दुल्ला, चलो कुछ नहीं तो किसी मूवी की कहानी सुना दो.
हाँ.
आजकल लेटेस्ट कौन सी मूवी वहां आई है ये बताओ. सबसे लास्ट में आपने कौन सी मूवी देखी है?
Ma'am, I have watched a Turkish movie, I think like 2 years ago. That was very nice and horrific.
2 years ago you watched a movie and no
Yes,
other movie. Oh.
No, ma'am. I'm more into dramas, K-dramas and Chinese dramas.
I don't know why nowadays I have seen the new generation, they are fan of Korean dramas, Chinese dramas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And yeah, and they have their lots of hero worshipping is there, that they know the names of the actor, actresses and all. Even I don't know the names of those people.
I know them.
Okay.
मैंने 3 इडियट्स देखा है मैम.
3 Idiot अभी की कहानी है. 3 Idiot तो इतनी पुरानी है.
कौन सी?
3 Idiot.
DDLJ.
3 Idiot.
तो बोल दो.
मूवी बहुत कम देखते हैं मैम.
आमिर खान वाली.
हाँ तो स्टोरी तो सुनाओ ना, हल्की छोटी सी बनाओ के सुनाओ.
कहानी थोड़ी सी ये है कि मतलब हमको उसमें समझ में ये आया कि मतलब पढ़ाई जो भी करो तो समझ कर पढ़ाई करो. ऐसे मतलब बोलता है कि रटने से कोई फायदा नहीं है, जो पढ़ाई करो तो समझ कर पढ़ाई करो.
बहुत अच्छा.
और
बढ़िया.
हमको मतलब सबसे पॉइंट वही समझ में आया क्लियर.
और ये भी तो था कि उसमें कि हर चीज हंसी हंसी में, खेल खेल में करो. जिंदगी को बिल्कुल बर्डन मत समझो, बोझ बना के मत रखो.
खुश रहो.
जी,
रहो, जो
खुश रहो.
सही होगा.
ऑल इज वेल, ऑल इज वेल.
All is well.
ओके, आपको एक सेंटेंस तो याद है कम से कम, ऑल इज वेल.
जैसा हम माहौल बनाएंगे अपने अंदर ना, वैसा माहौल हम बाहर बनाएंगे. If we feel happy from inside, we can create happiness outside. If we have confusion, and that is the power of our mind. Our mind is very, very strong. It can catch everything from out, and also and inside out is our journey. So try to be happy from inside, be peaceful. Tell God that give me the strength to be peaceful. Remove my confusion. Show me the light of the day. And you know, you can do this in the morning when you spend little bit of time with your own self. That little bit of time, if you take this seriously, I'm telling you, really, it will change your life. That 5 minutes in the morning when you're doing the affirmations, sit quietly. Don't sit and think of what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, which college I have to go, I've got to go to this study. नहीं, आप बैठिए, अपने आप से बातें कीजिए, अपने आप से connect कीजिए. And I tell you, everything in your life will change. That is the power of our mind. Just
Yes.
create that harmony inside you. Harmony. कि भाई मैं खुश हूँ बिल्कुल, और वो आपकी harmony बाहर बनेगी. शुक्रिया.
बिल्कुल, बहुत सही कहा आपने अलका मैम. और पता है, इट बिकम्स अ हैबिट. एक टाइम ऐसा आता है कि जैसे इतनी परेशानियां होती हैं, फिर भी आप ना अपने आप ही हंसते मुस्कुराते रहते हो और परेशानी का पता ही नहीं चलता है. एक आपकी आदत बन जाती है. मैं अभी दुबई में एक बार अपने पासपोर्ट के रिन्यूअल के लिए गई थी, तो वो बिल्कुल नया ऑफिस था मेरे लिए. फर्स्ट टाइम उधर गई थी मैं. तो मैंने जो रिसेप्शनिस्ट थी उससे फिर मैंने डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह लिए, फॉर्म वगैरह लिया भरने के लिए, और सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स उसमें लगाए. 10 मिनट टाइम लगा होगा मुझे, ज्यादा उससे ज्यादा नहीं लगा होगा. और फिर उसके बाद जब मैं उसको रिटर्न करने के लिए गई तो कहने लगी, मे आई से समथिंग. मैंने कहा यस प्लीज. तो कहने लगी, आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई एम गेटिंग पॉजिटिव वाइब्स फ्रॉम यू the moment you have entered, the moment you have come and you have I said, I have just spoken 2 sentences. I asked for the form and now I am submitting the form. Only these 2 sentences I have spoken. But she was like very, very happy to meet and see. She said that it comes positive vibes. क्योंकि ऐसा होता है ना, जब आप खुश रहते हो ना तो आपकी एनर्जी रिलीज होती है, वो सब तक पहुंचती है, तो लोग भी अपने आप को बहुत ही एनर्जेटिक फील करते हैं. और अगर आप खुद मुंह बना करके घूमोगे, सैड रहोगे, तो सारी दुनिया को सैड कर दोगे आप. So it's important.
Imagine a leader who is always grumbling. Imagine करो कोई आपका लीडर हो, कोई आपके ऊपर हो, बॉस हो, हमेशा किच करता रहे, तुम ये नहीं करते, तुम वो नहीं करते, कैसे लगेगा ना? So you're lucky to have a leader like Halima ma'am. So please follow her and do what she's telling. Fantastic you will be. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, Alka ma'am, thank you everyone. Now be ready for tomorrow's fantastic challenge.
Yes.
And again, Alka ma'am, I will send you the video. You can see that how many of them have really practiced your advice, and how many of them are ready now.
Thank you, ma'am.
to challenge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
ma'am.